Welcome back, my friends. Have you ever wondered what happens after a city is abandoned by its inhabitants? What happens to the houses that are left behind, the things that are forgotten in them? I mean, it's natural to wonder what goes on inside an abandoned home or building. Curiosity is one of the most common reasons why urban explorers dare to enter a structure that has been left behind. But aside from the strange feelings and ideas that come up when we think about what might be hiding inside an old house, there are also some very real dangers. After all, who knows how structurally sound the building really is? And will the roof hold, or could it collapse without warning? Well, that's exactly what happened to the residents of Pripyat, Ukraine, when they were forced to abandon their homes back in 1986 after the Chernobyl nuclear disaster occurred. And while it's true that no human has called Pripyat home since then, that doesn't mean that no one has made their home here. In fact, there have been plenty of stray animals that have managed to make their lives here over the last 3 decades. And many of those animals were domesticated pets who were abandoned by their owners during the evacuation. They may not be able to get out of the area because of the radiation, but they're still managing to live their lives as best they can. And some of them have even become quite friendly toward humans again, perhaps hoping that one day their owners will come back for them. For example, in one of the apartments of the abandoned city, you can find a cat named River who seems to be waiting patiently for her owner to return. She spends her days looking out the window and napping before she heads out into the street to look for food. The thing is, she's not alone in this endeavor, because there are several other strays living in the city, including cats, dogs, and even horses. So you can imagine that there is quite a bit of competition when it comes to finding food. As a result, some of the animals have had to resort to stealing food from one another. For example, in one instance, a dog was caught trying to steal a cat's food. However, the cat fought back and gave the dog a piece of her mind before chasing him away. That wasn't the only time that something like this happened either. On another occasion, 2 dogs got into a massive fight over a bag of stolen food. But sometimes the animals aren't fighting over food, they're fighting over territory. Take this dog, for example, who is clearly enjoying his life in the abandoned city. He spends his days chasing cats and his nights sleeping in front of the homes that he claims as his own. This particular dog was actually one of the first dogs that the explorers encountered when they went into the city, and he was so friendly that they were able to pet him. They even gave him some food, and he seemed very grateful for the gesture. However, they didn't stick around long enough to see if he would follow them. Perhaps he was too shy, or maybe he just didn't want to leave his home. But whatever the reason, the dog stayed put and continued to roam the streets of the abandoned town. Of course, it's not just dogs and cats who have made themselves at home in the city. There are also plenty of wild animals who have moved in. Since there are no humans around to bother them, they can roam the streets freely and live off the land. For example, there are all kinds of wild boars living in the city now, and they seem to be doing just fine. They spend their days rooting around in the trash and their nights sleeping with their families. The explorers have even seen baby boars playing in the streets, and it's clear that they are happy and healthy. But perhaps the most amazing animal that has made its home in the abandoned city is this horse. This poor creature was abandoned by its owner when the city was evacuated, and it has been surviving on its own ever since. It's been more than 30 years, and yet the horse is still alive. That's a testament to the strength and resilience of horses. They were able to live off the land and take care of themselves even in the most challenging circumstances. The explorers were lucky enough to see the horse and approach it on a couple of different occasions. And while it was initially skittish, it eventually warmed up to them and allowed them to pet it. It was clear that the horse was happy to have some human contact, and the explorers were moved by its story. While it's amazing to see how these animals have adapted and survived in the abandoned city, it's also sad to think about what they've been through. Many of them were abandoned or left behind when the city was evacuated, and they've had to fend for themselves ever since. Despite the challenges they've faced, they've managed to thrive and make the abandoned city their home. As mentioned, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster forced the residents of Pripyat to abandon their homes in a hurry. They didn't have time to pack their belongings or say goodbye to their pets. So many people left their cats, dogs, and other animals behind. It's estimated that tens of thousands of pets were abandoned during the evacuation, and these animals were left to fend for themselves. However, despite the challenges they faced, many of these animals survived. They adapted to life on the streets and formed their own packs and communities. Some of them even became friendly towards humans again, perhaps hoping that their owners would eventually return. After the disaster, the Ukrainian government decided to create a 30 kilometers exclusion zone around the power plant. No one was allowed to enter the zone, and the animals were on their own. However, over time, some people started to sneak into the exclusion zone to explore the abandoned city. These urban explorers were often shocked by what they found. Many of them discovered cats, dogs, and other animals who had made themselves at home in the abandoned buildings. Some of these animals were still wearing collars and tags, and it was clear that they had once been someone's beloved pet. Others had never been domesticated, but they had learned to survive in the harsh environment. In the years since the Chernobyl disaster, much has been written and filmed about the animals of Pripyat. There have been numerous documentaries and news articles about the cats, dogs, and wild animals who have thrived in the abandoned city. Some people have criticized the media for focusing too much on the human side of the story and not giving enough attention to the animals. After all, the Chernobyl disaster was not just a tragedy for humans, but for animals as well. One of the most famous residents of Pripyat is a stray dog known simply as the Chernobyl dog. This dog became famous after a photo of him standing in front of a sign that read "Keep Out" went viral. Many people believe that the Chernobyl dog is the same dog that was photographed in the basement of an abandoned house in Pripyat in 1999. If this is true, then the dog must be in his early 20s now, and he has spent most of his life in the abandoned city. Another famous resident is a cat named Zanzibar. Zanzibar is a black and white cat who is said to be the most photographed cat in Pripyat. He is known for being very friendly and curious, and he is often seen exploring the abandoned buildings and streets. Some people believe that Zanzibar is a descendant of the cats, who were abandoned by their owners in 1986, while others believe that he is a feral cat who has always lived in the wild. So what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome videos. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Dogs, man's best friend. We have been friends with them for over 15,000 years. This friendship has lasted longer than many human kingdoms and is still going strong today. And yet, despite this friendship, there are so many dogs that end up on the streets without a home or family to go back to. At times they wander alone, at times in small groups, sniffing every corner for scraps of food. At night, trash bins become their treasure chests. During the day, abandoned alleys and shady corners their refuge. But their greatest hunger is not for food, it is for safety and love. Dogs are pack animals. Without bonds, their spirits break long before their bodies. In today's episode, we will be telling the stories of some such dogs who were once lost but found their forever homes. Number 7. Scooting into Maggie's life. When Maggie came across this little doggo, he was just a ball of fur, struggling to keep himself upright on his spindly little legs. He couldn't have been more than 6 weeks old and weighed next to nothing. His eyes weren't even open yet. Clearly, someone had plucked him from his mother too early. But it wasn't all bad news, because Maggie had fostered many puppies in the past and knew exactly what to do. She bottle-fed the puppy every 2 hours, ensuring that he got the nutrition he needed to grow big and strong. As soon as he started getting bigger, she also enrolled him in puppy kindergarten, where he learned all about being a good boy. After 3 months of hard work, the little guy was finally ready to find his forever home. It was a bittersweet moment for Maggie, but seeing how happy the pup was in his new house made her heart melt. No 6 second chances for 2. These 2 dogs really lucked out when they were adopted by the same family. The couple already had a 4-year-old pit bull named Bruno, who had been surrendered to a shelter by his previous owners after they discovered he had some behavioral issues. A few months later, they also rescued an 8-year-old Doberman from another shelter. They named the Doberman Luna. And although the 2 dogs were complete opposites, they quickly became the best of friends. Bruno would often take Luna under his wing and teach her all about the joys of being a good boy. Luna, in turn, taught Bruno how to relax and take it easy. Together, they proved that age is just a number, and that true friendship knows no bounds. Number 5. The love of a good Samaritan. When a woman named Shannon spotted a tiny black puppy wandering along the side of a busy road, she immediately pulled over to see if she could help. The little guy was scared and dirty, but also incredibly friendly, which made Shannon's heart melt. She brought the pup home, gave him a much-needed bath and some food, and then took him to the vet for a checkup. As it turned out, the puppy was only a few months old and had been abandoned by his previous owners because he had a cleft palate. Despite this, Shannon was determined to give him a loving home, and with the help of a local animal charity, she was able to get the pup the surgery he needed to fix his palate. Today, the dog is happy and healthy and living his best life, thanks to Shannon's kindness. Number 4. A father's love. A few years ago, a single father named Michael decided to adopt a dog from a local shelter. He had always wanted a pet, but never had the time or money to take care of one. However, after his son Riley was born, he realized that it was time to make the leap. From the moment that Riley laid eyes on the dog, the two were inseparable. The dog would often be seen following Riley around the house and even slept in the same bed as him. One day, while playing fetch in the park, Riley accidentally threw the ball into a nearby lake. Without hesitation, the dog jumped into the water and retrieved the ball. Seeing this act of bravery, Riley was filled with gratitude and hugged the dog tightly. In that moment, he knew that he would never let go. 3. Lucky finds forever home. When Cheryl saw the emaciated doggo, she couldn't bear to look away. The poor thing was so thin that its ribs and spine were clearly visible through its matted fur. It was clear that the dog had been through a lot of suffering, but Cheryl was determined to give him the second chance he deserved. She took the dog home and gave him a much-needed bath, and then the real work began. Cheryl fed the dog a mixture of wet and dry food, but he was so weak that he could barely eat. Every time he tried to eat, he would end up choking and vomiting. Cheryl didn't give up, though. She spent hours sitting with the dog, feeding him by hand and making sure he didn't choke. Slowly but surely, the dog began to regain his strength and put on weight. After several weeks of round-the-clock care, the dog was finally healthy enough to be adopted. Cheryl was sad to see him go, but she knew that it was the right thing to do. Number 2. Best buds. When a woman named Taylor decided to adopt a dog from a local shelter, she had no idea that she was about to welcome not one, but 2 furry bundles of joy into her home. As soon as the dogs saw each other, they immediately hit it off and became the best of friends. The 2 dogs would often be seen playing together in the park, going on walks, or just cuddling up on the couch together. It was clear that Taylor had made the right decision when she adopted both of these dogs because they were truly meant to be together. Number 1. An unexpected rescue. When this dog was found, it was clear that he had been through a lot of suffering. His fur was matted and dirty, and he was so skinny that you could see his ribs sticking out through it. It was clear that the dog had been abandoned and left to fend for himself, and he was just skin and bones when he was found. But thankfully, a kind person took him in and gave him the care and attention he needed. With some love and a nutritious diet, the dog started to make a full recovery. His fur grew back thick and shiny, and he gained a healthy amount of weight. It was amazing to see the transformation of this dog, and it's a reminder that with a little bit of care and attention, even the most neglected animals can make a full recovery. What are your thoughts about these inspiring stories? Let us know in the comments section below. Be sure to like and share this video with your friends and family so they can also be inspired by these amazing tales. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos like this. A ginger cat jumps out of a bakery window to escape a dog. It lands soundlessly on the sidewalk below and disappears down an alley. A sleek black cat slips between two parked cars, vanishing into the shadows. A grey tabby creeps along a rooftop, stopping to stare intently at something in the distance. Cats seem more silent than other animals. Their struggles are not as visible, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. When we think of a cat's life, we often picture a pampered pet lounging on a windowsill or being stroked by an adoring owner. But for many cats, life is more like a silent movie. They climb and jump, slink and prowl, always moving through the city with a kind of desperate grace. These are the cats who have learned to live on the streets, taking advantage of the opportunities the city provides while avoiding its dangers. They have no regular food or water, no comfortable beds or litter boxes, and every day they face dangers from cars, dogs, and people. Yet they survive thanks to their skills and a little bit of luck. When a kitten loses its mother, every street becomes an endless maze of fear and longing. The little ones cur and meow loudly enough to be heard over the rumble of traffic and the din of construction. Without their mother to shield them, they must learn to navigate a world that seems designed to keep them off balance. The smallest kitten needs to weigh at least 2 pounds to have a chance at survival. They need to be big enough to climb, to hunt, and to stay warm during cold nights. Most importantly, they need to find food. A mother cat can carry her kittens in her belly for 64 days. That's almost 2 months of carrying around extra weight, having less energy, and risking her life so she can feed her babies. When they're born, she'll do anything to protect them, hissing and spitting at any threat until she's too old to care for them anymore. After a few months, it's time for the kittens to strike out on their own. In the wild, the odds are stacked against them. Only about 10% of kittens born in the wild survive to adulthood. That means most won't make it past their first year, which is why it's so important for them to learn the skills they need to survive as quickly as possible. Kittens can start exploring outside the shelter of their den at 3 weeks old. By 8 weeks, they should be eating solid food. By 12 weeks, they're usually ready to hunt. But there's no school like Hard Knocks. A city street is a tough place to learn life lessons, but it's also full of opportunity. A young cat can find plenty of food if she knows where to look. People often leave out food for stray cats, and many restaurants throw scraps. Fish and chips are a favorite, as are fried chicken and pizza. If you know where to look, you can find all sorts of free food. There are also plenty of places to hide. An old brick wall, an open window, a wooden crate, a cardboard box. Even a discarded refrigerator can provide a safe place to sleep and raise a family. Every cat needs a place to call home, a place where she can feel safe and raise her kittens without being bothered by other animals or humans. This is especially important for pregnant cats who need a quiet, safe place to give birth and nurse their babies. It's not easy being a female cat in heat. You have to find a safe place to give birth. Then you have to find food for yourself and your kittens. No wonder so many of them end up on the streets. A mother cat will do anything to protect her kittens, but it's not always enough. Dogs, coyotes, and even other cats will prey on kittens. That's why it's so important for a mother cat to find a safe place to raise her family. If you want to help a stray cat, there are a few things you can do. Most importantly, you can provide food and water. You can also offer a safe place to sleep and a friendly face to greet them. Some people even take in stray cats and care for them until they can find new homes. Most of us don't realize how lucky we are to have a home and people who care about us. But for many cats, life is a constant struggle to survive. So next time you see a stray cat, remember that she may be just 1 day old, or she may have lost her kittens. She may be hungry, thirsty, or scared. She may be trying to find her way home, or she may be looking for a new home. Whatever the case may be, remember that she's a living being who deserves our compassion and respect. Thank you for watching this episode. Please like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Your support helps us to continue producing quality content. Welcome to my channel. This is the 10th episode of Forgotten Cities. When we talk about forgotten cities, we usually focus on the buildings, streets, and other structures left behind. However, there's more to these places than just the architecture. After all, a city is made up of more than just concrete and steel. It's also made up of the people who lived there and the things they left behind. And sometimes it's the smallest things that tell the most interesting stories. In this series, we explore what happened to some of the world's most incredible cities. But today we go in to take a break from the usual format and look at some of the animals that make their homes in these lost civilizations, birds and other creatures. When we think of animals that might live in abandoned places, our thoughts often go to cats and dogs. However, these furry friends are not the only animals that can survive in a place like this. Even in the most desolate and forgotten cities, life finds a way to persevere. When a city is abandoned, it doesn't mean that it's completely empty. In fact, many cities have a large number of birds that make their homes in the buildings and streets. Pigeons and sparrows are common sights in many abandoned cities. They're able to adapt to different environments and find food even in the toughest conditions. The large open spaces of a deserted city center can be a great place for birds to live. They can fly freely without the constraints of modern society and live off the land. As the seasons change, the struggle for food becomes more difficult. Winters can be especially harsh, but the birds are resilient and have developed ways to cope with the cold weather. Some birds huddle together for warmth, while others seek shelter in the abandoned buildings. No matter how tough the conditions get, these birds find a way to survive. They're a testament to the tenacity of life and a reminder that even in the harshest environments, life finds a way to persevere. The thrill of the chase. These birds are not the only animals that make their homes in abandoned cities. Squirrels can also be found scampering around the streets and alleys. They are able to find food in the most unexpected places, and their agility and speed make them difficult to catch. Sometimes the forgotten cities become home to larger animals, such as cats and dogs. These domesticated animals can be friendly or feral, but they're all survivors. They've learned to take care of themselves and find food in a place where resources are scarce. It's important to note that these animals are not simply surviving, they're thriving. In a place where humans no longer live, they're free to roam and explore without the constraints of human society. For a bird flying through the streets of a forgotten city, it's as if it's flying through a prehistoric landscape. There's a sense of freedom and wonder that comes with exploring a place that's untouched by humans. The buildings and streets become their playground as they navigate the urban jungle in search of food and shelter. However, it's not all fun and games. Survival in a forgotten city is a daily gamble. The animals must be constantly on the lookout for predators and must be willing to fight back if necessary. The struggle for food is also a challenge, as the animals must be quick and resourceful in order to find sustenance. Despite these challenges, these animals thrive in the forgotten cities. They are a testament to the adaptability and resilience of wildlife, and a reminder that nature always finds a way to reclaim what's lost. In conclusion, the forgotten cities are not just empty shells. They're home to a variety of animals that have adapted to life in these abandoned places. From pigeons and sparrows to squirrels, cats and dogs, these animals have found a way to survive and even thrive in the toughest conditions. Their resilience and adaptability are truly remarkable, and they serve as a reminder that life finds a way to persevere even in the harshest environments. So, next time you visit a forgotten city, remember that you're not alone. You're sharing the space with some amazing animals who've made it their home. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. See you next time. Do you ever wonder why certain cities are like they are? Why do some have soaring skyscrapers, while others seem stuck in time? Today, we're taking you on a journey to a place that seems frozen in an endless winter. This isn't just a city. It's a microcosm of human nature where the treatment of animals mirrors the conscience of its people. Welcome to the City of Strays. So, why is this city so dramatic? Because the story is not just about animals, it is about us. The state of Strays reflects the conscience of the people who once lived there. To abandon them is, in truth, to abandon our own humanity. Yet hope never disappears. A bowl of water, or even a gentle look, can rewrite the fate of these souls. What you will see in this video is more than just an anime-style film, is a call to conscience, compassion, and humanity's shared responsibility. Let the adventure begin. The sun was setting over the city, painting the twilight sky with hues of orange and purple. When a young woman named Anna stepped out of her cozy apartment, the late October wind nipped at her face, carrying with it the scent of fallen leaves and distant wood smoke. As she made her way through the deserted streets, the silence was broken only by the rustling of wind through dry, withered leaves crunching under her feet. The buildings loomed over her, their facades stoic and unyielding, whispering tales of a bygone era. Each step took her deeper into the labyrinth of empty streets, the only sounds, her own footsteps, and the distant cry of a lonely cat. The heart of the city was a maze of tall buildings and narrow streets. Time seemed to stand still here, and the grandeur of the architecture only emphasized the haunting emptiness that pervaded the place. Anna, a journalist known for her compassionate heart and fearless pursuit of truth, had come to this city in search of a story. But what she found was far more profound than she could have imagined. As she turned onto a narrow street, a flash of movement caught her eye. Huddled in the doorway of a dilapidated building was a small ginger cat. Its fur was matted and its ribs stark against its skin. It was clear that this little creature had seen better days. Moved by the sight of the emaciated animal, Anna couldn't just walk away. She knelt down, offering the cat a gentle voice and a tentative hand. The cat, initially wary, slowly began to emerge from its shell, drawn in by Anna's kindness. This chance encounter would be the first of many, setting in motion a series of events that would change both Anna's life and the city forever. As the days turned into weeks, Anna delved deeper into the city's history, uncovering a tale of neglect and abandonment. The city, once a bustling metropolis, had fallen into decay after a devastating economic downturn. In the exodus that followed, most of the city's inhabitants had fled, leaving behind not only their homes, but also their pets. Those who stayed behind were mostly elderly citizens who couldn't afford to leave, or those with disabilities who had no one to care for them. It was during one of these colder evenings that Anna stumbled upon a group of children huddled around a flickering bonfire. They were trying to stay warm in the biting cold, their thin clothes offering little protection against the elements. When they saw Anna approaching, their eyes wide and wary watched her every move. Hesitantly, she offered them some food and warm clothes that she had brought with her. The children, initially suspicious, gradually warmed up to her, sharing their meager fire and their stories. One of the children, a young girl named Lena, confided in Anna, telling her about the harsh realities they faced daily. The hunger, the cold, and the constant struggle for survival. Moved by Lena's tale and the plight of the other children, Anna knew she had to do something to help. Their resilience in the face of such adversity filled her with admiration, but also a deep sense of responsibility. Anna realized that she couldn't just document their suffering. She had to become part of the solution. Under Anna's compassionate gaze, the once wary children began to open up. They shared their stories of survival, their dreams for the future, and their unwavering bond of friendship. Moved by their tales, Anna felt a surge of determination. She might be just one person, but she was determined to make a difference. As the weeks passed, Anna's visits became more frequent and her bond with the children deepened. She organized clothing, drives, and food banks, ensuring that no child went hungry or cold. Her efforts didn't go unnoticed. The townspeople, inspired by her dedication, started to come together, forming a community united by a common purpose. Among the townspeople was a man named David, a former schoolteacher who had chosen to stay in the city despite the hardships. He was instantly drawn to Anna's compassionate spirit, and the two began working together to improve the lives of the children. Together, they created a makeshift school in a community center, providing the children with not just education, but also a sense of normalcy and routine. But their challenges were far from over. There were bureaucratic hurdles, limited resources, and the constant struggle to keep hope alive in a seemingly hopeless situation. Despite the odds stacked against them, Anna and David persevered. With each passing day, the community grew. Inspired by the courage of the children and the unwavering support of Anna, the transformation was remarkable. Children who once looked only to survive began to dream of a better future. They started talking about their aspirations, their hopes for a world beyond the desolate city limits. The community, too, underwent a change. People who had been driven apart by fear and desperation began to come together. They shared resources, provided emotional support, and, most importantly, they shared hope. As the seasons changed, so did the city. Spring brought with it a sense of renewal, and the people of the town, much like the flowers pushing through the winter frost, began to rebuild their lives. The city, once a symbol of abandonment and despair, was now a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. And at the heart of this transformation were the children. Their laughter echoed through the streets, chasing away the shadows of the past. They played in the parks, their joy a melody that resonated with the returning birdsong. The school, once a desolate building, was now a hive of activity. Children of all ages filled its halls, their voices ringing with the sound of learning and discovery. The stray cats, too, were not forgotten. What began as a trickle soon turned into a steady stream. Other volunteers, moved by Anna's story, began to join her. They came from neighboring towns, from distant cities, and even from other countries. Each one was drawn to the city for different reasons, but all of them were united by a common purpose. The city that was once a symbol of abandonment and despair was now a beacon of hope. It was a place where the bonds of community, compassion, and shared humanity shone brighter than any winter sun. And as the years rolled by, the story of this city became a legend. People came from far and wide to witness the transformation, to learn from its people, and to share in its hope. For in this city they found something that was rare and precious, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. The city of strays had become a city of hope. We want to thank you for joining us on this journey through the city of strays. If you liked this anime-style film, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts. So drop a comment below and let us know what you think. And if you're a fan of our work, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an upload. Thank you for watching. Until next time, at The Forgotten City, Stray? Souls of the Night is a 1-hour documentary that will take you through the darkest corners of the city where you will feel fear, discover hope, and maybe even shed a tear or two. It's an emotional roller coaster for anyone who watches it. This powerful video documentary gives a voice to the voiceless and shines a light on the harsh realities faced by stray animals in our society. I've always been an animal rights activist, and I believe that every living being deserves to be treated with respect and dignity. That SYI was so moved by the work of this creator who is on a mission to give a voice to the voiceless. The documentary follows the creator as he explores the city, looking for strays to feed and care for. Along the way, he meets other animal lovers who have dedicated their lives to helping strays. He also meets people who are less than animal friendly and learns about the many dangers that strays face, including cruelty from humans, other animals, and the elements. Despite the many challenges he encounters, the creator's dedication to feeding the strays never wavers. He is a true animal rights activist who believes that all animals deserve a chance at a happy life. This documentary is more than just a feel-good story. It's a wake-up call to the many people who are indifferent to the plight of animals. The creator's passion is contagious, and by the end of the documentary, you'll be inspired to make a difference in the life of a stray. Whether you can donate your time, money, or simply spread awareness, there are many ways that you can help make a difference in the life of a stray. I want to give a big thank you to this creator for producing this eye-opening and inspiring documentary. By sharing his story, he is helping to create a better world for animals everywhere. The Forgotten City. Stray Souls of the Night is not just a documentary, it's a movement. A movement to end the suffering of strays and to show the world that they are more than just animals. They are sentient beings who deserve our love and compassion. I urge you to watch this documentary and to become part of the movement. Together, we can make a difference in the life of a stray. The documentary is available on various platforms, so go ahead and check it out. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing documentaries. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We want to reach as many people as possible with this important message. Thank you for watching. Now go watch the video and get inspired to make a difference in the life of a stray today. And now for a word from our sponsor. As a small business owner, I know how difficult it can be to find the right tools and resources to help you succeed. That's why I'm so excited to tell you about our sponsor, a platform that provides businesses with the marketing tools they need to thrive. With access to a wide range of marketing solutions, businesses can connect with new customers and build relationships with their existing ones. What sets apart is its user-friendly interface and affordable pricing plans. If you're an animal lover like me, then you'll love what this platform has to offer. For example, you can create targeted ad campaigns to promote animal adoption events or raise awareness for animal welfare causes. You can also use the platform's analytics tools to track the success of your campaigns and make data-driven decisions. Plus, you can leverage the platform's marketplace to connect with top-notch marketing professionals who can help you take your marketing efforts to the next level. The platform is committed to empowering businesses of all sizes to reach their full potential, and with a wide range of flexible pricing plans, you can choose the tools and resources that fit your budget and marketing needs. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level, visit the website and start building your dream today. Don't forget to use our special promo code for an exclusive discount on your first order. It's risk-free